Corruption or incompetence? You be the judge. I'm going to talk to you about something that's going on in my life right now that could spiral out of control. Maybe. I don't know. About 6 weeks ago, I made the video about the grave robbing, that Indian cemetery I visited in Florida. The purported cemetery that people were digging up like crazy, looking for whatever they were looking for. Some people in my comment section say, they're just looking for teeth. Others are saying, yeah, there's a cemetery there. Well, guess what? 2 weeks after that video was posted, the local newspaper down there ran an article where the lead was, authorities debunk man's claim of grave digging. Now, I'm going to talk to you about that article, but I'm also going to ask you, corruption or incompetence? Remember that. Yesterday, a month after that article ran in the newspaper, the reporter made a quick post under that video linking this article, again saying Aquachigger is just full of it, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yesterday is the first time I've ever talked to this guy, and he made it sound like in his comment I've been talking to him since the beginning, and it's false. During this past month since that article was written, I had been fully expecting to get something from the county government down there, the attorney's office, basically asking me to take that video down because it makes them look bad, or maybe even a cease and desist order ordering me to take that video down, but that didn't come. Now I'm just going to paraphrase it to a certain extent, but the link is in the video description and you can read it word for word. One of the first things he says is that the Sarasota County archaeologist Steve Koski investigated the holes and said the area was benign of historical significance. That means there's nothing there. No activity took place there. There's nothing to be seen. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's basically what the archaeologist is saying. Didn't say those holes weren't man-made. He just said there's nothing there to worry about. And the state archaeologist contributes and says there is nothing that indicates archaeological materials. There were Native American burials in that area, but this is not one of them. Incompetence or corruption? You know what picture I'm talking about. Just go ahead and look at it one more time and ask yourself that. In my video, as I'm just wandering around, I picked up an Indian hammerstone. That is a great historical artifact. And a hammerstone was that big rock. I don't know what time it was at, but it's used to hammer stuff, and it is clearly an Indian hammerstone. I know it's an Indian hammerstone. The archaeologist should know that's an Indian hammerstone by the video, and it's still out there. It's right where I left it in the video. But, they didn't see anything, again, incompetence or corruption. So the reporter goes on, he talks to the sheriff. The sheriff says that, yes, digging on county property is a misdemeanor. You shouldn't really do that. But they looked at the video, and they can't tell if the holes are man-made or not. And in fact, he goes on to say that the sheriff's office did investigate the claim. Now, this part is not in the newspaper article because it was in the correspondence between me and the reporter, which I have saved. This is what the officer said. And I can't believe this, but again, incompetence, corruption. No crime is committed if officers do not catch someone in the act of digging holes. I'm going to have to go with incompetence on that one. I'm sorry. That's just ridiculous. You could take someone out on your boat, chop them up in little pieces, be covered with blood, be wearing their watch and their necklace, and get back, they arrest you. But no crime was committed because the officers did not catch you doing it. Fine police work there, Lou. So it's painfully obvious to me that something weird is going on there. Now, granted, the video should be horrendously embarrassing to everyone involved down there. It should be embarrassing to the rangers on that beach. And it should be very embarrassing to the archaeologists because of that sign. Now I'm going to tell you what I think is going on down there and why I haven't commented on that article. I've been doing some research. Sarasota County is tremendously corrupt. In fact, several of the county commissioners there, at least one elected official, was just recently found guilty of conspiring with land developers to put in a 1,000-acre subdivision. They were tried by a jury of their peers, found guilty. The county was fined $20 million. This just happened. But the judge vacated that judgment he set the whole thing aside. So they're appealing that somewhere else. But to get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, I'm going to tell you what's going on. Opinion. This is my opinion. Just recently, like within the last month or two, Whole Foods, which is a giant grocery store, wanted to build a store complex in Sarasota County. The problem was the spot they wanted to build this on wasn't big enough. But guess what was next door? There was a protected park there, a wetlands. We all know about protected wetlands. You don't touch protected wetlands. So what did they do? Whole Foods, whose whole mantra is, you know, environmentalism and how great they are with the environment, went to the county commissioners there and said, hey, there's a 4-acre park here that's a wetlands. We want to build a parking lot on it. They wanted to pay paradise and put up a parking lot, and that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. They went and they convinced the commissioners, against the advice of just about everybody in the county, to just let them buy that 4-acre wetlands and put in a parking lot. But guess what they had to do first? Besides fatten wallets, perhaps. Again, opinion. Whole Foods went out and they bought a parcel of land 30 miles away. 30 miles away from there. And donated it to Sarasota County to offset paving paradise or the wetlands. That's what's going on in Caspersen, in my opinion. I think that the local people there, the local politicians, maybe the LEOs are in on this, and I suspect perhaps they are just because of that sign that you see there, want to pave Caspersen Beach, that protected area of Caspersen Beach. I suspect that there is a developer out there that's eyeing that land to put multi-million-dollar condos on it, but he can't do it because there's an Indian cemetery there. Someone went out there, took that sign down. Again, that sign was there 5 years ago. That picture was from 5 years ago, and that sign has disappeared now. I thought during the video that maybe it was the looters doing that, you know, because thinking that if they get rid of the sign, maybe they'll get in less trouble, which is true. Now that could happen. But now I'm beginning to wonder if it wasn't the powers to be that actually got rid of that sign, and they are trying to rewrite the history of Caspersen Beach so that they can pave it and put up condos. That's my opinion. But that's what I think is going on. I want to ask you to share this video, even though it's a rough video and it's not one of my finest. I'm going to ask you to share this so that those developers and those corrupt politicians down there do not get their way. So they don't get to make the history of that island. The fact that there is a Indian burial ground there. I mean, the sign says there's an Indian burial ground right here. Who put that sign up? You know what they're going to say? Well, you know, we put the sign up because we didn't want people digging shark's teeth. So you lied? You lied about putting the sign up? You lied when you put the sign up? You don't want people digging shark's teeth, so you threaten them with prison, saying it's an Indian cemetery? Well, if you were lying then, you're lying now. Or you're incompetent or corrupt, which is not mutually exclusive. I guess you can be all three. And I frankly believe that most of the people I've talked about in this video are all three. Anyway, sorry about the roughness of this video. I know it's not my finest, but I wanted to get this video out there so you guys could see it, copy it, share it, do whatever you want to do before I get a cease and desist order, because I really do believe that's coming. We'll see. It'll make for a good video if it does. That I can promise you. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention in the video. One of the sitting county commissioners is also the head of a development group that represents the developers of Sarasota County. Yeah, I can't make this stuff up. And people, you guys that shop at Whole Foods, shame on you.